Hey amigos, Knife Detector here. One of my viewers yesterday gave me the great idea of making a video with just all of my Schrade slash old timer knives, right? And so I thought to myself, that's a pretty darn good idea. So I decided to kind of look around, and what you see here is what I was able to find. I don't think I have any others hidden away in my truck, but I think this represents all of the current old timer and Schrade knives, fixed blade and folding knives that I have. So I'm going to go over all of these, and I'm going to try and remember where I got all of these. To be honest with you, I don't think I remember how much I paid or where I got all of them. Some of them are going to be more recent to my memory than others, but we're going to go over a lot of different styles of knives that old timer has made in the past, and some of them continue to be made into the present, right? Some of the oldies, some of the goodies, right? And these are the ones that, you know, if you're in the 40s, 50s age range, that you might remember your brothers carrying, your uncles, your dads, your grandpa. You know, these are those knives. So we're going to go over some of those knives. Now, I know there are other brands out there that are not or there are types of knives, other styles out there that are not represented here. But again, this is very objective because these are the ones that I purchased because I enjoy, and these are the ones that I have because they've been gifted to me. So because of that, you know, this is why knife collecting is a very unique hobby, right? Also, I also want to say hey over to Zachary over at his channel, Keeper of Blades. Recently, he hit me up. He saw the video I made on the old, I believe it was a Parker coffin knife that I had, and he wanted to make me a trade. And he said he knows I collect these 51 OTs, so we're going to start with that. We're going to start talking about those. And he knows I collect those, so he's like, hey, I trade you one, I got another one. And I'm like, gosh, you know, I'm a sucker for those. I really like those. All right, Zachary, let's do this. So today, this morning, I went ahead and I sent him his old coffin knife, and he sent me another one of these, and he sent me his tracking number. I sent him my tracking number, and that's how we do it in the knife world when there's a partner that you trust and that you know is going to have your back, and that you can go ahead and just send it because you know you have that good standing with your friend, and you know you can trust him. You know, and that's the type of people we have here in the knife community. Okay, so let's start there. Let's start with those awesome 51 OTs. Guys, this is the venerable 51 OT. Notice the no nail nick. Notice no thumb stud. This bad boy right here, look at that beautiful Delrin. See that orange hue? These were made only from 1977 to about 1982. They are beauties, guys. Really love these. You want to talk about an excellent back pocket knife? Well, this makes an excellent back pocket knife. Needs a little bit of cleaning because when you're in the knife game and you collect a lot of knives, it's hard to keep up with the cleaning on a lot of these, right? But these are great. You don't even need anything to open them, right? Just like that, because, you know, these have such easy action on them. And all you have to do is give it a little, you know, lift like that, or even use your thumb and pretty much open it the whole way with one hand. You don't really need it, but these are from back when people didn't pay attention to those. They wwere taking their time and they just open it like that. Beautiful blade that narrows down to the point. And it's great for slicing, all types of cutting, right? Beautiful. Love these, okay? 51 OT, 77 to 82. I have two of those from that age range, and hopefully I'll get another one soon from Zach. And this is my other one, just like that. Notice how on this one, it's a little bit dry right there, but like Zach was so awesome to give me this tip because he collects these too. He told me all you have to do is rub a little bit of vegetable oil right there and it'll bring that back to life. And I had tried WD-40 before with that to have the same result, but vegetable oil sounds a lot safer. So I think that I'll be trying that from now on. So that's another 51 OT. Continuing on with the top section, right? Looking at this bad boy right here. This is a fixed blade. It's got a sharpening stone in there. Beautiful leather sheath. This is a Schrade, and it says 100 and something anniversary. Oh, no, this is a 153 UH. So this is a 153 UH, otherwise called the Super Sharp, right? This is a Schrade Super Sharp 153 UH. I've said this before in one or two videos, but this knife was given to me by my wife on our wedding night, guys. You know how you exchange a gift? She gave me this on our wedding night. Now, that's just an incredible insight that I had, that my wife is going to be very supportive of my hobby, and I love her dearly because of it. And I will always cherish this knife. And when I die, I'd like to be buried with this knife, just so that I can take it with me, you know? Love it. I haven't used it a whole lot because it means so much to me. It is sharp. I've sharpened it just to the point that, you know, I like it in case I'm ever going to use it for something. I might have used it for a few barbecues every now and then. But as I'm getting older, you know, I'm starting to realize I got to start using my knives more, because if I don't, that happens, right? That type of little green stuff forms in the brass, and then you got to clean it off like I'm doing right now. You know, you got to use them. You got to use them, guys. So yeah, check it out. Super sharp, 153 UH, amigos. Very nice. That's going back in its home. And yeah, one of my viewers was nice enough to tell me, hey, if you don't keep the knives in the sheath, then they won't start to get the green stuff. And he's right. Only thing is, I keep it in the sheath so that, one, it protects the knife from getting dinged around, and two, I know which knife goes with which sheath. Because when you have as many knives as I do, sometimes it's hard to tell which knife goes with each sheath, right? Okay, back to the 51 OT, except this is not an old one. This is a newer one, muchachos. This one, I think, came out in 2010 or 2013. They decided to redo the old favorite, right? And the dimensions are pretty much the same, but the Delrin is different. See, the Delrin is different. Honestly, I like the Delrin on the older ones better, but this will do as well. I keep it razor sharp, amigos. And it has a thumb stud because I added the thumb stud. And that one you saw in a recent video that I did. I carry this one quite often. I carried it today in my back pocket. Again, these make excellent back pocket knives, right? Okay. Okay, now this one right here, friends. Now this one was given to me by my friend Robert over at Bluegrass Bushcraft. This is an H15, and it is a Schrade, Walden, New York. This knife is so light. The guard, the pommel, I believe that's made of aluminum. The blade on this thing is very sharp. It's had a lot of use, but I like to think that Robert has some of that use, and now we both can say we've used this knife, and that's kind of like a special thing, because this was a trade or a gift. I can't remember. Either one, I consider it a gift either way, from Robert over at Bluegrass Bushcraft. And I really like this knife. This is just so light that, you know, if I had to decide, and I had a bug out bag, and I do have a bug out bag, and, you know, this knife goes in it, because the reason is this knife is so light, and yet it's durable and strong, and it gets the job done. And it's just a testament to the craftsmanship of Schrade Walden from back in the day. Loving this knife, H15, amigos. Very light. And he gave me this sheath. I think he might have made this sheath, which makes it all the more special, amigos. So I'm going to put that bad boy back in the sheath. And you notice, you know, this one didn't have any corrosion in it. And that's because of the aluminum parts instead of the brass, right? Which is great for fishing applications, having it out there in the woods, because you know it's not going to corrode or rust if it's aluminum. So not bad at all. Now, moving on down that top line, right? And I'm sorry to you guys that might have already quit by this point, but guess what? This is going to be a longer video because I got about 26 of these knives to go through, right? So moving on down, and this right here is a Schrade LB7. Now this particular Schrade LB7 I actually traded today. I went to Harlingen Market Days, and I saw an older friend of mine over there that we've done some trades before, and I had that same knife that I did in yesterday's video, that Schrade 236, in my pocket, and I thought, self, what if you find something you will like better, right? Because I like that knife, but it just was kind of small for me. And wouldn't you know it, my friend had this one, and I told him, look, I know this one's worth more. The LB7 is worth more than the other one. We made a deal. Bottom line, I got this for 30 bucks plus that other knife, and it also came with a sheath with it, which I'm really happy with. That's the sheath it came with, right? And the thing is, those other ones came with sheaths too. But I don't have all of them. This is a newer sheath from a Schrade tool that is very similar to the sheaths that those 51 OTs came up with. So I use that for it, right? But forgot to mention that. But yeah, the Schrade LB7s, these have a serial number up here, guys. And this one has one too. Not sure if I can recognize it or if you can see it right there. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it looks like a low serial number. It starts with a 1. Okay, that's pretty darn cool. And this functions just as expected. So now I have 2. The Schrade LB7 is one of my favorite knives that Schrade ever made. It was just one step above, you know, a knife like Buck, because the Buck knife was just a little bit too rugged, and the Schrade LB7, it was a little bit more higher end, you know, for those gentleman types. You know, it was just a little bit more higher end, amigos. Okay, check out this one. This one was gifted to me by my friend Pete, Jersey Knife Guy. Haven't used it much, Pete. I gotta take this out there, man. It's a sweet little deal. I love this knife. It's adorable. This isn't gonna scare the neighbors. It's not that big. Like it a lot. Thank you so much, Pete. Appreciate it, man. And it's just a lovely example of, you know, Schrade craftsmanship. Or this is a Schrade Uncle Henry. And these, you know, these have a different number designation because these were a little bit more modern, but it is a Schrade Uncle Henry. Very nice. Thank you, Pete. Love that, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Now, moving on, you know, I have this guy. Now, this is pretty awesome because this is an old timer that has a lanyard hole. And what was the number on this one? It's hard to remember all of the numbers. This is a 60T, and this is an original. And look at that, it's got some of that corrosion in there, right? So whenever I'm seeing that, I'm kind of cleaning them off as I go and wiping that down. You know, this thing has a little bit of oil in it, right? And so I wipe it down a little bit and before I put it back to bed. And this is a great knife because not only does it have the blade that is like the blade from a LB7, right? But it has a Delrin handle, so it's the best of both worlds if you like that old-fashioned Delrin. And this is an original one, right? Does this have a code there? No, this one does not. Pretty cool. But you know where I keep this one? I keep this one in a special sheath my brother-in-law Gino gave me. He gave me this Mountain Man sheath where, you know, in case you know, if you know, you know, it kind of just goes inserted like that, right? And it's kind of open already, see? But this protects you. So if you need to whip it out, cha! You whip it out, and the next thing you know, you got a knife that's already ready for action, amigo. So that's kind of where I keep that one, and just in case. And the fact that it has this is helpful because you can use that lanyard to whip it out if you can't get a hold of the whole thing. So thanks to my bro-in-law Gino for that one. He gave me that years ago, and it's home. I like it there. I think that knife goes well with that sheath, and that's where I keep it. All right. Whew, I'm running out of breath here, amigos. So let's keep going. I got so many more to go over with you guys. Like I said, this is going to be a long one. Here's another Schrade LB7, amigos. Yeah, this is one that I had. This is mine that I had for several years. Had this one probably for like 30 years. Love this knife. As you can see, this one's a little bit more taken care of because I polished it enough. And soon I'm going to use some Brasso on this one to get that one looking just as nice. Here we have a knife that I carried when I was in my 20s, late 20s, I believe. This is the Schrade 47OT. I think they call this one, what do they call this one? The Beast. I think they call this one the Beast. It's got this really nice handle. It's got a thinner blade, but I tell you what, this thing is a workhorse. It really is. I didn't carry this particular one. I had another one that kind of went down the road of a garage sale many years ago. I had a lot of use to it. This one I bought, again, because I was just feeling nostalgic, okay? So now let's get into some of the smaller knives, amigos, the moment you've been waiting for. So we're gonna go left to right on this one, right? And like I said, Schrade, old timer, they make so many different models, right? They make so many different models, but these are just the ones that captured my attention because these are the ones that I enjoy. And when I see a type of knife that I enjoy, I sometimes buy more than one. So that means I have a couple of them. All right, so let's start with this one. Now, this is one that I would really like to get another one of. This is, I believe, a 108 OT, and it's like a serpentine and Delrin. It's got a really thin blade, but it's so old that the number, can't even see it anymore. No snap. I think I got this in Bussey's flea market in San Marcos, and the large blade has no snap. So you can see this has like a Stockman pattern, but it's like serpentine. Really sweet to have in your pocket. I believe this is the 108 OT. Check it out. Very nice. This is an older one. I'd say this is probably 70s right here. Okay. The venerable 34 OT. I believe this is a 34 OT. Let me see. Yeah, 34 OT. The 34 OT graces so many pockets, and one of my viewers mentioned how, you know, they have the 34 OT that's been in their pocket for like 30 years or something. You can't go wrong with a knife like this. It's small enough that it's unobtrusive, but big enough that it's gonna get most jobs done, right? It's got your sheep's foot. It's got, you know, it's a Stockman pattern, nice little sheep foot. You got, of course, your spay blade, you know, and of course you got your main blade that's decent size enough that you can use it for a lot of things. And that's my 34 OT that I have because I agree it is a great knife. Now this is an older 2-blade jack that you've seen this. I got this from my friend Amado. I bought it from him. Now this is a Schrade Walden, but only one of the blades is there. But I love this because this is an excellent example of just a 2-blade easy open jack. And that's why I keep that around. That's great for when you're feeling nostalgic, okay? All right, now this one, gosh guys, this one was a grill knife for me. I believe this is the 25 OT. Look at how large and in charge this bad boy is. Me and this guy are bad boys for life, amigo, okay? So check it out. Yeah, is it 25 OT, I believe, yeah. And it's just a gorgeous knife. This has seen some work. It's sharp. I gotta carry it more often. This again makes an excellent back pocket knife. Love these knives. Beautiful Delrin, right? It's a large 2-blade folding hunter. There's the fillet blade. Super sweet. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I carry that one in a sheath too. But of all my folding Schrades, that's probably the biggest, you know, as far as that size. But also, of course, we have these. These are pretty big as well. Now, this one, guys, this is a old-timer lumberjack original 858 OT, I believe. Or is it 85 OT? Let's see. It is 858. Yeah, it's an 858, right? And these are awesome because they're like 34 OTs, but on steroids, okay, guys? There's a very big blade right there. It's a Stockman pattern, but a big Stockman pattern, big sheep's foot, big spay blade. These remind me a lot of the Buck 307 pattern. They're just that heavy duty, but these have the rounded edges. It's got also that integral line right there, fluted bolster right there. Very sweet. Now, I have a couple of those, I believe. I have another one somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah. Why don't I see it here? Oh, I think I know why. Because it's in my holster from last night. So I have 2 of these. But the other one that I have is kind of scratched right here. So that's another one that I have, just like it. Now this one is a modern version of the 858. But if you'll notice, when you put them side by side, the modern version is just a wee bit shorter, maybe by a couple of millimeters. It's not as long as the original, okay? And here we go. Pretty little blade. Doesn't say the number right there. 858 OT. It's a sweet knife. And if the size bothers you from the other one, well, you can carry the modern one. But honestly, I like them both. I like them both. I like having a big Stockman in my pocket. I think it's one of those knives that are just so versatile. It just falls in your pocket with ease, but it's heavy enough that you know something is there. You're not going to accidentally lose it, right? This right here, I believe, is the 96 OT. This is a special one, guys, because this one has the main blade, and it doesn't have any more snap there. It also has the spay blade, kind of like if you were to be looking at a trapper type knife. But check it out. It also has this little burr remover in case you get a burr in your foot or something like that. You can use that to take out that burr. This is a vintage one. They also make a modern one, but I think I sold a modern one. And you got this really good pair of tweezers right there. You can dig in with those and take out whatever you need to take out. That's a 96 OT. Really like that one, buds. All right, moving on down. We are almost done, amigos. If you've been with me this long, thank you so much. I just want to take this time to say thank you to all my new subscribers. And I hope you guys, take the time to like and subscribe. When you like and subscribe, that brings my viewers up, sends me up in the algorithm, and it helps my channel out so that I am able to buy new knives and show you new things and come out with new products to show you guys. so that I can supplement this really nice hobby that we can all enjoy. And so please take this time, if you haven't done so already, to like and subscribe, amigos. Thank you so much. Now, okay, let's move on. Let's move up from here. Now, does this look familiar? Now, this one has a B designation on it. Can someone tell me why this has a B designation? You see, it is a Schrade, and it is a 8OTB. Schrade 8OTB, really sweet knife, love it. Well, guess what? If you guess that the B stands for brilliant, no, it stands for bone. Actually, if you guess that the B stands for bone, you are correct. That's why the B, because this is not Delrin, this is bone. Yeah, bought that one, really happy with that one. It used to be whiter. I think the bone is starting to yellow a little bit, which is kind of cool, because that's actually what I want to happen, right? Yeah, cool. I think that one's gonna go back with me in my pocket. I think that's what's gonna happen with that one. Okay, now comes a knife that was given to me by my daughter. This is an old-timer trapper. She bought this set for me a few Christmases ago, and this was part of a little set that also came with a peanut that is somewhere in my toolbox that I couldn't find. So that's another Schrade that's not there, but this is a 95 OT. So yeah, that's a Schrade 95 OT, old-timer 95 OT. Love this. My daughter gifted it to me, so we'll always hold a special place in my pocket, that one, and in my heart. All right. Now, all these others right here, guess what they are? They are Schrade old-timer 8OTs. One of my most favorite pattern, the 8OT. It's just a big, honking, large and in charge trapper. Not as big as the 858 Lumberjack. Not as big as that, but this is a particularly different model. This one has a serrated blade. And that's why I got this one, because I hadn't seen too many of those with a serrated blade. So that, I think, has a different number designation. Let me see if it does. Maybe I can see it. Maybe we can enlarge it. Let's see. What does it say? Is that an 89? I want to say that's an 89 OT. Yeah, 89 OT. I think that's an 89 OT. So that one has a designation of an 89 OT. Yeah, so this is not an 8 OT. For all intents and purposes, it is the same thing, except, of course, for that serrated blade. And that, my friends, makes it a little bit more special, because that can cut through things like seatbelt and rope a lot faster, in my opinion. So very nice. Now these other two, they're just regular 8OTs. They don't have the serration, but I like them. They're large and in charge. Love myself a big Stockman. I mean, I like the 34 OT, but for me, the 8 OT holds a special place in my pocket. Very, very nice. All right. Now, here's another one that Pete gifted me. He gifted me several knives at one point. This is an Uncle Henry. What is this? Is that a 53 UH? What is, let's see. An 885 UH or 895. 885 UH. Thank you so much, Pete. This is essentially the same as an 8OT. Okay, this is a modern version. It's got that Uncle Henry Delrin right there. Really sweet knife. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that. Love these knives. Now we're gonna get into some other ones, right? Because Schrade Walden, they didn't just make knives with Delrin and bone. They made other types of handle material too. So this is like a white Delrin, and this is like a pruning knife. And this right here, this is a Schrade knife. And in there, there's a number, I think, to tell you what kind it is. 175, I think it is. A Schrade 175. But yeah, sweet little knife. If you're a fan of the foot, if you're a fan of the sheep's foot, it's really sweet to carry one of these, right? So just a great example of one. Usually when you find these, they do have some type of advertising. Which brings me to the last knife, amigos. If you've held on with me this far, want to thank you for that. Paid through the nose for this one. Paid $50 for this one at a small antique mall outside of Fredericksburg, all right? Texas. And this is a... man, getting old is terrible. Is that an 8OTY for yellow? An 881. It's an 881Y, and the Y stands for yellow. Really pretty yellow Delrin. I do like this knife quite a lot. You know, don't you know, like, I don't know. Tell me, when you carry a knife that's yellow in your pocket, doesn't that just bring a little bit of extra joy in your life? It does for me. I think yellow just improves my mood for whatever reason. I don't know why. There's the sheepy foot. There's the spay blade. Really sweet. All right, amigos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this walk through all of my Schrade and old-timer knives. And I want to thank my subscriber that gave me that suggestion. You know, in truth, I've been wanting to do a video like that for quite a while. Let me just leave with giving you a little close-up of what it is that I had right there, and maybe just a little closer, scanning it just like that. And just to let you guys know, hey, these knives are out there. And guess what? A lot of the younger kids that are out there, they're not as keen on collecting these as you and I are. So you know what that means, right, amigos? There's a lot more of these out there for us, friends. Yeah. All right. This has been another one by the Knife Detector. Want to say hey to all my friends and family out there that are watching my videos. Please like, subscribe. Oh, and if you can, share. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care.